This is Rosemary, and you are in the Wrestling Epicenter.
You're listening to Interactive Wrestling Radio, featuring the interactive interview, courtesy of WrestlingEpicenter.com.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to this week's Impact Wrestling Press Pass podcast. This is Ross Foreman, and we can bring in my dear, close, personal, longtime friend, Josh Matthews. Josh, what's going on this beautiful Thursday?
What's going on? What? What's going on? What? On what
What's
day?
going on? I had to find you on the screen here. I just wanted to make sure I had the right person unmuted.
You had to remember what day it is? Must be nice.
I had to find you on the screen here.
What time did you wake up today? Like noon?
About 12 minutes ago. What time did you wake up?
I wake up at 4 a.m. Eastern every day.
As it should be.
And everything's good. I mean, it's hectic, and I like the chaos and the hecticness of Impact Wrestling. Sanjay Dutt's calling me right now. Send a voicemail. So I mean, it's been a great day. There's so much going on. I mean, so much happening. We're working on so many different things. Things that you guys know about, some things that you don't. New shows coming up. Let's see, what's Rebellion, of course, right around the corner, April 28th. Tickets go on sale this Monday for Rebellion at noon Eastern time. VIP packages and tickets. Ross and Ashley wants to do axe throwing with our VIP fans. Is that going to happen, Ross?
Can we clarify something? That is an Ashley Toronto thing. I guess they do that up in Canada.
I just don't know if we want our fans throwing axes at each other.
Well, it depends. Are you involved in this one or not?
Probably not. We can talk about that, though. So that's Rebellion is, of course, April 28th, and we got TV April 29th in Toronto. And then just quickly, Impact tomorrow night, Jake Crist versus Willie Mack, Johnny Impact and Brian Cage versus Moose and Killer Cross. Sami Callihan's going to tell his side of the story with Rich Swann. Tessa Blanchard versus Delilah Doom, and then Wentz versus Ethan Page. So a stacked Friday night per usual with Impact Wrestling. And then we hit the road for Dayton tomorrow morning for opening day, which will premiere on Twitch Saturday night at 7:30 with the pre-show. And then Saturday, while that's happening, while you guys are watching the show on Twitch, we'll be in Louisville for Clash in the Bluegrass with Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW. That show is completely sold out. That will premiere on March 9th, which is Saturday. I believe it's next Saturday, March 9th on Global Wrestling Network. So two big shows, Twitch and opening day, and then Clash in the Bluegrass in Louisville on March 9th. And then just looking at some other shows around the corner. Pardon me for taking a second here. I don't know, Ross, if we have any other one-night onlys announced for in the immediate future. Let me see. Critical Transformation, that happens April 13th. We'll tape that show on April 13th. I don't have an air date for that yet. That's also in Kentucky in partnership with UCW, Universal Championship Wrestling, in Owensboro, Kentucky. So that should be a fun show as we finalize information for that. We're finalizing some information also on a Twitch show April 12th, which is just a super important show for us. Big deal. And I can't wait to get that information out there. Rumor has it we're going to announce that show on Saturday of this week, so stay close to your social medias. And then there was a poster that was put out for United We Stand. Tickets are available for United We Stand right now at ImpactWrestling.com. There's literally, I checked a little while ago, one front row seat left for United We Stand. There's less than 10 second row seats, and then the premium seats are gone. So if you're on the fence or waiting to get seats for United We Stand, get them now. Rich Swann will defend the X Division Championship against Yamato. That match is Impact versus Dragon Gate. Huge match. If you're not familiar with Yamato, check him out. Go to YouTube and punch his name in. I believe he was ranked 47th in the PWI top 500. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before. So that's a huge deal, Rich versus Yamato. And again, it's just more companies being added. United We Stand. That news was broken by Fight TV, where we will broadcast United We Stand. So I think, Ross, unless you've got anything that I didn't cover, I think it's time that we and we're going to hear from the what is it? What do we? The re-signing of a former champion. That news gets broken here, Ross. Do you know who it is?
No, I figured you were going to let me know first.
Well, I think we'll all find out together when this former champion, when she joins us in a little while. How about a big week of signings, Ross? We got Sami Callihan on Monday. Who Fala on Tuesday.
Fala Ba on Tuesday.
I got a text message last night that we re-signed somebody else that we're going to announce next week. We've got
I hear there's a few re-signings coming out next week. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, that is true. There's at least 4 of next week, which is pretty cool. And then some other things happened today on the internet as well. We don't need to go into those things, but maybe tomorrow some things will happen, Ron.
Yeah, hey, the week's not over. I would be surprised if we didn't have some big news tomorrow.
I think with that said, I think we should welcome the newest signee to Impact Wrestling right now. He was in the ring, got approached by EVP Scott D'Amore, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. I've called a few of his matches, and I couldn't have been happier when I found out that this man was signed, sealed, and delivered. Josh, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Ross, Josh, it's really good to be here.
Yeah, man, thank you for being here. We know that you're here with us today, and then you'll be on the post-show Friday on Twitch. So we're running you through the car wash already, and the ink is still wet on the paper.
Yeah, man, I'd rather be busy and in the mind of everybody right now than forgotten. So it's good.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey. I know that you broke your neck, and that sort of changed things for you. Talk to us from that point on, where you thought you were in your career.
Well, like up until the point where I broke my neck, that's when I was really starting to garner steam. I was starting to work for major companies throughout the independents in the United States and everywhere. And I was kind of garnering a lot of attention as like a prospect, somebody that was like highly touted. And then obviously the rug got pulled out from under me. I broke my neck. The doctor read the MRI and said, well, you're done. There's no way you can do this. It's a risk to the rest of your life and walking again and all this other stuff. So, I did a whole retirement tour and, I tried to be done with wrestling. But when I woke up from surgery, I noticed there was no neck brace or neck collar on me. I had a scar across my throat, but there was nothing there. So I had to wait to speak to the surgeon. Finally, 2 days later, because it was on a weekend, of course. So I'm just sitting there thinking about what's going on. Nobody can give me answers. He comes in and says, oh, we read the MRI wrong. Your disc was completely herniated. You did have a broken neck. It's fixed. But, yeah, you could totally wrestle again. Like, you're completely fine. So in that moment where I'd spent the last few months kind of preparing to try to be okay with not having wrestling in my life for the first time in 8 years, I realized I could do it. And at that point, I decided to rededicate myself to wrestling and work harder than I ever had before and just make myself undeniable to do what to me is unfinished business, to get signed from a major company. And now I've finally done it. So it took a lot of hard work, but I'm just, I couldn't be happier. I never thought this day would come. So
you're from just outside of Toronto, is that accurate?
Yeah, it's completely true. Yep.
And so was Destiny your home base, Destiny World Wrestling? Is that where you did most of your wrestling?
Destiny, yeah, they've been running for about 5 years. Alpha One's another big company up here, and C4, Capital City Championship Combat, they've been running for a decade as well. Those are like the 3 biggest main promotions up here in Canada, I'd say. So, yeah.
So when you find out then that you can, indeed, you're not retiring and this gets to go on for you, I mean, does that like breathe new life? I mean, that has to completely change everything, right?
Well, for the first little bit, it kind of haunted me because I didn't want people to think I was, making it all up to try to make some money on a retirement tour and sell some merchandise or do whatever. You know what I mean? So I kept it a secret for a little while and tried to be okay with being gone. But like Ethan Page, he's my best friend. He was out doing things still, and I finally broke down and told him like the news that I could wrestle. I just, I was worried what other people would think, and he said like, this is the only thing I've meant to do. I'm too good at it to pass it up, and I can get signed. I can do all this stuff. I got to do it. So, he kind of gave me the push in the right direction, and it was definitely a motivating thing to happen, to have it all taken away in an instant, and then to get it given back. So I was lucky that
Where'd you get the nickname, the Walking Weapon?
Ethan Page gave me that nickname. We were traveling.
He should have kept it for himself.
Well, it doesn't really fit him. Yeah, he was walking around, and we were doing indies, and he just came out with all ego. And I was just like, man, I got nothing like that. I'm just a professional wrestler. I'm pretty boring. I'm pretty plain. He's like, man, you're like a walking weapon. And he just said it in passing like that. And like it stuck from that moment on. I decided to try it on a show, and I think the first show people started chanting it, and it's just kind of the way other people describe me. It fits, because when I wrestle, like, it's like there's no joke, there's no playtime when I'm wrestling. You know what I mean? Everything is hard hitting, fast paced, and it's the way I like it and enjoy it. So the moniker kind of stuck.
I think it's great, man. I can't wait to see some Walking Weapon merchandise at Shop Impact very soon. Ross, do you want to open up the line now, and we'll let the press that are waiting to talk to Mr. Alexander?
Sure, I will. If I can ask a question first, I know there might be some people who aren't too familiar with you, Josh. So, who is the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander?
I mean, the real Josh is a family man. I have two sons and a wife, and I'm a hard worker. That's it. Like Josh said earlier, he wakes up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm up at 4 a.m. every single day just to get the gym in before my kids wake up, because I know that dad time is going to be important. I'm not around that much when I'm at wrestling shows. And then from a wrestling perspective, man, like, I remember I picked up Impact alumni at the airport like 10 years ago, Eric Young, and he said it, and I wish I could steal this as my own thing, but he said, he was just like, I wish I loved anything else other than this sometimes. I wish I was good at anything other than this sometimes, because like, this is the only thing I've ever felt like I was meant to do. And as a professional wrestler, it's just the only thing that ever seemed to fit. And it's just in a sense, like, some people think I'm going to be boring because I don't have a different character. Like, I am a professional wrestler, that is my character, but so many people are kind of wrapped up in trying to find that other character that they can have to reach a mass audience, that I've kind of made myself unique just by staying as a professional wrestler now. So it is what it is, but it's the only thing I love, and it's the only thing I want to do, and now I get to do it for a living with Impact Wrestling.
Josh, I'll say this, and I think that only people that have been doing this for a long time can understand it is a blessing and a curse to love this as much as we do.
Exactly.
All righty. Well,
Ross, we got some media on the line?
We do. We have a room full. Media will open it up for questions. *6 to get in queue. Please identify yourself and your media outlet, and please limit it to one question so we can get through to other callers as well.
Hey, this is Riju from Sportskira in India. My question is, what makes Impact the place to be right now, and who are some of the superstars that you want to mix it up with in the ring?
I think both your questions have the same answer. Like, the roster right now, especially with all the signings that they're announcing and the guys that they have that make it a place to be, it's just, you got people like Sami Callihan, Brian Cage, John Morrison, Killer Cross, who kind of was unknown before he showed up in Impact, Rich Swann, all these guys, the Rascals, they're all guys that I want to get in the ring with, that I think that I can perform and give really good matches with. So, like, this is going to be the place to be going forward, especially just because of the roster.
Thank you.
Problem. Hey, Josh Matthews, do you have an update for Riju?
Yeah, Riju, I don't know when we'll come back to India, buddy.
Damn it.
Hello, this is Carlos from Indie Pro Wrestling. How you doing today, Josh?
Good, man.
Hey, so I am very familiar with your work. I've actually seen you in AEW here in Chicago. Now, my question would be, do you have any plans to bring back Monster Mafia? That's between you and Ethan Page.
I mean, we've talked about it for sure. Ethan Page is in Impact Wrestling right now, and with me coming in, us as a tag team, we've always been really successful. I mean, we got to travel all over the world, the UK, to PWG in America. And I know both of us, we love tagging together, so if the opportunity arises, we're definitely going to do it.
Awesome. Hope to see that soon.
Yeah, man, me too. Thanks.
Well, before we go to our next media caller, Walking Weapon, I have a little surprise for you here. Let's welcome in, where's this caller here? Caller, go ahead.
Oh, boy.
This is my cue?
Yes.
Hello, Joshua.
Hello.
Do you recognize my voice?
Not right now.
Well, this is a terrible way to start.
I definitely do right now. Oh, shit. Yeah, okay.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Clarification, this would be Ethan Page joining us.
You guys blowing Josh up with a million questions today, or what?
I've had 2 questions.
Oh. Wow.
You're the third
Maybe
caller.
I just jumped the
Lucky
gun.
number 3.
Ethan, what can you tell us about the Walking Weapon?
Oh, man. Well, he's the hardest hitting wrestler I've ever been in the ring with, against or on the same side. So that's why I decided to be his tag partner, because I'm smart. And definitely no longer Canada or professional wrestling's best kept secret, because he's now contracted to Impact Wrestling. So you guys can all pat yourselves on the back for getting Josh Alexander.
All righty. Well, Ethan, I know you said you were busy. I just wanted to have you chime in for 2 minutes there, and we appreciate it. We will talk to you down the road.
Yeah, no worries. Make sure you ask Josh a million questions. Get to know him as best as you can, because I know everyone on the roster will get to know him very quick in a way that they don't like. Usually it's a chop to the chest or a devastating forearm. That's it.
All right. Thanks, Ethan.
Thanks, man.
Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com here. Josh, how important was the talent pool in the Ontario area in particular important to your growth? Because you got into wrestling really young, and Ontario is a place that has always bred good wrestling, and you have a lot of really premium talent that is brought in there as well.
Yeah, when I first started wrestling, we used to have a commission that kind of limited the amount of professional wrestling that could happen here. And I started wrestling in 2005, and the second I started, pretty much like the week of, they lifted the commission. So independent shows popped up all over the place. So not only did I have all this talent surrounding me, people like Eric Young, Ty Dillinger, people like that have gone on to make names for themselves, but I had a ton of indie shows. So in my first year, I had over 100 shows. I was lucky enough to be able to say that. And the one guy that I attribute more with most of my success is Michael Elgin. I've had hundreds of matches with him and killed way too many brain cells, but we've learned so much along the way, and he's gone on to do what he's done. But like, out of all the talent pool, I'd say, like, from a learning perspective, we pushed each other, and like, he helped me learn a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, this is Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone. How you doing, Josh?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. So I wanted to ask, you've built your own following in Canada, with your promotion, and your neck issues have been well documented, but what's kind of your feeling about getting a bigger stage now to kind of show what kind of wrestler you are, and maybe as it was kind of touched on earlier, share it with Ethan Page?
Well, I mean, when my border problems and stuff happened as well after my neck injury. So, like, I haven't been to America. So when I really stopped going to America, I started concentrating on making Canada, like, because we have so many good professional wrestlers up here. It's just, there's not a lot of eyes on us other than, like, the Twitch shows that might come when you have one night onlys with Destiny and some of the Destiny stuff. A lot of the guys can't get their names out there. So I really wanted to try to get eyes on Canada. And as for me starting with a bigger company where I have all this exposure, like, if it happened 5 years ago, I may be a little more hesitant, maybe a little nervous and reserved, but I feel like I'm ready. Like, I've worked with tons of guys that some of the most talented wrestlers in the world, and I've been in the ring with them, and I know that I can go toe-to-toe with any of them. So now stepping into Impact, I feel like I'm ready than I've ever been.
Thank you.
No problem.
Josh, we're going to go to a question that came in from Alto. Alto would like to know, how do you plan to make an immediate impact? And Alto was proud to say that was pun intended.
I don't know. Wrestling promotion's kind of like prison, right? You got to go in and hit the biggest guy on the first day. So maybe I got to do it like that.
All right. Well, Jimmy Gar wants to know, what's the story behind the headgear?
In 2013, I was wrestling a man by the name of ACH, and he kicked me in the ear, and my ear swelled to the size of a softball and exploded. So I went to the hospital, and they had to cut my ear off my head and then sew it back on once they rebuilt it. And it was pinned to the side of my head for, I think it was 20 days straight, where I couldn't shower my head, and it had to be pinned to my head. And I had to wrestle 21 days after surgery. So I decided to get headgear and wear that rather than take the show off because, you know, I'm smart like that. And from the first show on, it stuck. It was kind of something that made me unique and gave me just a different level.
All right, then we got a question here from Jamie Zandow. Would like to know, do you plan to pursue anything against Sami Callihan? Do you have a little history with Sami Callihan?
I was lucky enough, if you want to say it like that, to wrestle Sami Callihan on 2 one-night only last summer at Destiny Impact shows. And, you know, we have a lot of chemistry together. We work well together. One of the matches was a cage match, and I actually had my head split wide open by a trash can, and that garnered a lot of attention online. And it wasn't too long after the Eddie Edwards incident with him, so, you know, it kind of garnered him some attention for being known as a reckless professional wrestler. So I think we do have unfinished business, and I'd like to finish it in Impact one day.
So, Josh, with all that being said, and we do appreciate your time today, and I'm certainly looking forward to you being on Twitch tomorrow night. Sorry, I know I heard you say you have kids. Sorry for asking you to stay up past midnight. I have a child as well, and when I have to do that, it's a lot of fun in this house. But with that all being said,
I have an 8-month-old, so I might not be asleep at all.
Oh my God! God bless you. With all that said, is there anything that you'd like to leave us with this afternoon as we get to talk to you tomorrow on Twitch as well?
Just that I'm genuinely thankful and excited to have this opportunity. I'm going to make the best of it.
Awesome. Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, the newest signee to Impact Wrestling. Josh, thank you for your time today, and we'll let you get back to enjoying your afternoon. So, Ross, I believe we're done, right? That's it? We're done with everything today?
No. We got the big announcement. I'll even give you
the big announcement.
You have to take the honors. I don't have the inside scoop.
The big announcement, the re-signing of a former champion here. I feel like my Chicago accent is coming back. Champion. I think it's from talking to you, Ross.
Wait. What kind of Chicago accent?
The horrible. It's the worst accent. Other than the Pittsburgh accent, the Chicago accent is the absolute worst accent there is. And I'm trying to be non-regional.
No, wait, one of your best buddies is Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc. That's like your bestie. And Nick.
Do you want to talk about my real best friend?
Oh, Sanjay's not on the call. Maybe he is. I don't know.
So we have the re-signing, if you will, of a former Knockouts champion. Does that clue you in a little bit, Ross?
You keep going. There's a few of them that are in my brain that I'm thinking of.
Sometimes she wears face paint. Most of the time she wears face paint. I think she always wears face paint.
She always wears face paint if it's who I think it is, and I like this. Keep going.
Well, I think it's really cool that we can tell you that she's on the phone, and I don't know how she talks on the phone. We've talked in person a lot. She's been on Around the Ring. She's scary. Is she on the line? Is she there? How do you know her phone number?
Should we just put him out of his misery, Joshua?
Rosemary, how are you?
Delightful, of course. A bit disoriented. We did tell you that summoning spell we left with you was for emergencies only. But we enjoyed chatting with you, so it's fine.
So, I mean, you were gone. You're back. You're going to be around for a while. What's going on with the Demon Assassin?
Yes, well, we decided after being stuck for so long in the undead realm that we have so much unfinished business left here that we decided to commit ourselves and sign a contract for another 2 revolutions around your Earth realm sun.
And when you say we, you mean who? Like the people in your head, like
we in the hive. We all come together as one little package.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Got it. Does everyone have to sign, or is it just one person that has to sign?
Once they commit, it's really more of a blood pact.
Gotcha. Oh, a blood pact. That sounds lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ross, is there any members of the media that would like to speak to? I know this is new news, and most of our media members, they have to plan for weeks and weeks on their questions. But are any of them like
we'll
adapt enough to jump right in? Spur of the moment. They're like, oh my God, we don't know what to say. But that's great. Congratulations that we're back.
Yes. Well, you need to have a protector around. Though in our absence, you had blood-stained zombies running amok. So.
How many airline tickets do we have to book the Hive?
Oh no, they travel with us incorporeal.
Okay, good. I was going to say we don't, that could be expensive.
No, it's really more of a solo thing.
Gotcha. Well, I'm looking forward to having you maybe on Around the Ring.
Oh, I'd love to. We have so much fun chatting with you.
You know that Explosion is now on Twitch every Tuesday, I believe.
On Tuesday, Twitch for Explosion now as well, and we do the Twitch replay for Impact on Mondays. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, that's correct.
We've been keeping up.
Yes, at 6, and you're often in the chat rooms on the Twitch chat.
We do. We found the digital presence of social media and streaming channels is such a wonderful way to reach more souls out there. So what better way to increase the size of the Hive?
That argument makes a lot of sense to me. Do you, let's see, tomorrow night, Kiera Hogan and Rohit Raju will be a part of the chat, and then Josh Alexander, I don't know if you heard or not, but he's going to be on the post show.
Oh, he's going to be on there as well. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
We've met his acquaintance, as you know, we used to wrestle and reside up in Canada. So you all are in for a bit of a treat.
Yeah, there's a lot of Canadians on the Impact roster.
Yes.
Ross is not from Canada. He's from Chicago.
We traveled to Chicago multiple times.
Rosemary, first of all, congratulations. Welcome back. And your thoughts, current state of the Knockouts division?
Oh, good question, Ross.
Well, there's so much going on right now, but really, we must maintain focus on what's before us, of course, which is ridding the world of the plague of the undead bride. And returning the bunny to where she rightfully belongs in the possession of the shadow. So that, of course, is before us, but it doesn't mean we're not aware of everything else going on. We see the Valkyrie has a certain shiny toy that used to be in our possession and don't think we haven't noticed. And then there's Tessa, who we've never encountered in battle before, and we do love to test ourselves against new foes at all times. And certain other new people that we've never had the pleasure of doing battle with, Jordan Grace, Kiara Hogan, Scarlett Fardeau. So there's so many wonderful opportunities for war that lies before us.
I mean, I'm just thinking there's so many, to your point, there's so many matches that can all, in just different situations you can find yourself in that we're really looking forward to what the future holds for Rosemary in the Knockouts division. And what did you call the championship a few seconds ago?
What, the shiny little toy?
The shiny little toy. I mean, it's better than calling it a belt. But
it is a belt.
Shiny little toy. Well,
a trophy.
Belt keeps your pants up. Yeah, a trophy. Ross, did we get any questions in the queue? I know that you're in control of the queue there.
I certainly am. We're gonna actually we'll go overseas for this first one for you there, Rosemary.
Ooh, is it Raj?
Hey, this is Riju from Sportskida. First off, congrats, Rosemary, on signing with Impact again. My question is, currently there are 3 knockouts who apply face paint. What do you think of this whole situation, and does it make it more difficult to stand out?
Oh, darling. We've never had any difficulty standing out in the past or in the future, as far as we can see. That will never be an issue for us, but to maintain a certain dominance, perhaps. We've never backed down from a test before, and we've never backed down from a battle, as you know. So anyone who wants to challenge for the position of the top knockout, the most dominant knockout, the top spot in the company, whether it means holding the championship or not, they are welcome to stand toe-to-toe with us and give it their best shot.
And a quick follow-up. You have...
Oh, great, Raj.
Sorry.
Raj, we don't know either when we're coming.
You're going to get yourself in trouble, Raj.
So basically, you're applying a purple variation of the face paint right now. What is the story behind it?
The story behind the color change?
Yes.
Well, if you look from our debut in Impact up until the present, we've gone through many evolutions and many changes, and each one represents a certain change in outlook of the way we are approaching situations and of the way that we are reacting to situations. And each one signifies a power shift and the different skills that we've acquired. Our purple version now has more strength and more skills than our red version did before this. Well, we can only assume that we haven't reached the peak of our powers. There might be another evolution forms down the road, but for now, the purple form is what we've chosen and what we have gone with in our battle with Sue.
Thank you.
Hey, Raj. Did you hang up on Ross before you could say goodbye to me?
I did.
Okay.
Hi, Rosemary.
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
Ross, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
I didn't know you wanted to say something. What did you... Raj, call back in because Josh wants to say goodbye to you.
No, it's fine. Nick, go ahead and ask your question.
Who is
Thank
this?
you it's Nick Hausman from Wrestling. Hi. Hey. Ross told me he wanted me to introduce myself as Josh's bestie, and I don't think that's ethically the right thing to do on a press call. Anyway.
No, Nick won't get the breaking news anymore if he introduced himself as my best friend.
You're not supposed to stooge off my sources, Josh. That kind of ruins it. Anyway, Rosemary, very excited to have you back in the mix. I was wondering, when I was at the national tapings, I saw Crazy Steve was back in the mix with Impact Wrestling. He got a really warm response from the crowd there, I thought. Are there any plans about teaming you guys back up on TV?
Darling, we would adore if that were to be in our future. However, we don't know what the plans lie before us, but we have, of course, been speaking with our dear brother Stephen. And should there come an opportunity to unite either as a duo or a recreation of a certain dominant group within the company, we would be all for that. But of course, if our future has only solo battles, then so be it. But we would, as we said, we would certainly adore such a opportunity and would definitely not pass it up. We've united with Steve on several independent promotions throughout the past year or two, and to do so on television again with Impact Wrestling would be absolutely wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the time.
You're welcome.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Josh. Bye, Ross.
Bye, Josh. Bye, Nick.
Ross, is that all the questions that we have this afternoon on what has now been a 40-minute press pass?
That's it. I know, Rosemary, your floor is you can have the floor for a final thought as we'll wrap it up for this week.
Final thoughts. Well, the only thought that's been on our mind thus far after the deal that Jim Mato made with us last week is to figure out what we are going to bring to this army, to the Dark War in a week's tomorrow. Yes, we're running out of time, and we haven't exactly done the best job of making what you mortals call friends in our time in this realm. So it may just be us facing an onslaught of 10, 20, 100, whoever he brings to the fight, but that's just fine. Either way, the Dark War will occur, and we will be victorious because we really have no other choice.
All righty, Rosemary.
No other choice. Hear that, Ross?
No other choice, but I got to make sure, because I want to write this down. Rosemary, what is the name of that championship again? What did you call that?
The Shiny Knockouts toy is the prize. The award.
The Knockouts
trophy. The Knockouts trophy.
Okay, I thought you called it like the shiny thing.
It is a toy. It's a shiny toy.
All right.
Perfect.
Rosemary, thank you very much. Even Josh, thank you. Very, very fun this week.
Even Josh.
Even Josh.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Yeah, Ross, you go ahead and wrap it up. I got to get back to work.
It's about time. All right, media, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, everybody, for calling in.
Unmuted. Q&A session is over.